The theme of my project is first generation college graduate. I chose this theme because my subject grew up without having to struggle through poverty. Also, I chose this theme because it is an enormous achievement being the first generation college grad. I know she is proud of herself, as I am proud of her. My subject grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, and went to an elementary school which had the middle school combined at St. Francis School. She attended high school at Sacred Heart Academy, which was an all-girl Catholic school. Both elementary through middle and high school were private schools, where they studied history, geography, grammar classes, and had numerous math courses. Schools were desegregated and located in the city for pre-high school and in the suburbs for the high school. My subject grew up in a lower middle class setting, this meaning they were not poor but still had some struggles here and there. My subject did not receive any scholarships after high school for college, and the extracurricular activities she did were cheerleading and performing in school musicals. Some of the musicals were Music Man and Bye Bye Birdie. Some friends of my subject that I interviewed were Cheryl Vincent and Helen Dolan. Cheryl was her best friend, they grew up together, and they were both cheerleaders. Helen was a lifetime friend, they grew up together, and they did plays together for the school. I asked Cheryl how she felt about my subject, how long she knew her, and how well their friendship was today. Her response was, "Mary is one of the nicest and genuine person that she knows. Always puts others before herself and will always be there for you. She has known my subject for as long as she can remember, and every month her and some friends they've met along the way go out and get dinner together." I asked Helen the same questions, and her responses were similar. Mary has always been there for me throughout my life, and she has one of the hardest work ethics I have ever seen. I've known Mary ever since grammar school and have never had a rough patch. Helen is also part of the group that goes out and gets dinner. My subject believes that the school she attended gave her the best opportunities to achieve the American dream. In her opinion, she believes she has achieved the American dream by having a house, family, 2 children, and went to college. St. Francis has been around as a church since 1968, and it has incorporated a school since 1881. Sacred Heart Academy has been around since 1946 when it was first in New Haven, Connecticut. It moved to its current area of Hamden, Connecticut, about one town over, in 1957. The demographics of the schools were all well mixed, including every race. The special program that the high school had was a business program that helped put them on the business path for future schooling. My subject's parents did not attend college. My subject's parents were in the middle class, which made it possible for her to go to the private schools and receive a very good education from an excellent institution. Unlike the families from the reading of Leroux, the neighborhood she grew up in was very diverse and everybody knew everyone. People got along with each other and there was hardly ever any trouble. In the reading by Buchman, it talks about SAT prep and how it affects the outcomes. My subject never went through SAT prep or tutoring. She received a great score on the SATs and proved that even though things weren't always the best around home or in the neighborhood, she could grind it out and pass and go on to college. She was the first to attend college as she is an only child. My subject grew up in a diverse setting. She lived in a neighborhood that had different ethnicities and attended schools that were diverse as well. And opposed to the See Baby Discriminate document, she did not see the other students as colored, rather she saw them as equal to her. Her parents allowed her to be friends with whomever and respected her decisions. Her career is not the same as other families have done. She received a bachelor's degree in business after high school from Albertus Magnus College. She was able to go to business school before college because women back then were geared for the secretarial sector rather than CEO or doctor at the time. There was no mainstreaming in any of the years she was in school before college. Head Start, Job Corps, subsidized school lunches, and Title I were all reforms that began during the 60s and 70s. In 1975, Congress passed PL 94-142, requiring a free appropriate education for all handicapped children. This law required that handicapped children be educated to the best of their ability and that they have an individualized educational plan written to suit their specific needs. In that same year, Title IV took effect. Growing up in the 60s allowed my subject to experience the highest mass standard of living in world history. The civil rights movements were going on, but it did not affect her as the schools were desegregated. The sexual revolution was on the rise as women in the working force wanted to be seen as equal. Social Security Act of 1965 created two programs called Medicare and Medicaid. My subject said that she did not have to be pushed or worry about being pushed in the workforce, and that women were able to climb the corporate ladder post-80. She is not entirely happy with the career she is in now. She is not in the career she started in because that career had layoffs and she was one of them and had to find a new one, which she did working at Yale University in the medical department offices. No one helped her get to where she is as she had to do it all on her own. Social capital helped her by being compensated through work to be able to pay for undergrad.